This is the day ahead version. Well, this is not the day ahead. This is the actual version of the doctors. Today happens to be October 6th, 2011. Hi, this is Paul Beckman, Palu Song. I'll be jogging in place and doing freestyle rap about some of the health tips on the doctors today, this morning. As I do so, you're also welcome to jog in place so we get a knowledge benefit and a health benefit out of tuning into this channel. So if you want, grab yourself a blanket.
Most men are intimidated by tall women. Men are intimidated by smart women.
And fold it up.
Play quiet, but I won't play dumb.
And put it on the ground so you have good padding to jog in place on.
I wasn't better than anyone else, but no one was better than me. I actually went through a relationship where I was told that I wasn't attractive enough for that person.
Who lives longer, short people or tall?
I'm sure they're men out there. I hope you heard that.
And what is healthier, being too fat or too skinny? This is what I worry about. Be the best you can be.
Are men threatened by smart women, and do they feel empowered to have a dumb girl around?
There was one guy I dated. He thought I was dumb because after sex he wants to talk about geology.
All new on the doctors.
Now I may have to go to the restroom, so I'll be back. I'll let you see the beginning of this though.
Welcome to the doctors. Fat, skinny, ugly, pretty, smart, dumb. Who's got it better and who's got it worse? We're debating these controversial scenarios today, and I warn you, this next hour is going to get heated. Now, before we start the show, I want to introduce our 14 very opinionated guests, and they're here to represent different roles, whether they're tall or short, blonde or brunette, maybe rich or poor. They're either proud of who they are or they want a bit of our help. And I really do want to emphasize this. We're not using these terms today because we think it's okay. But unfortunately, this is how people in our society do label each other. And to start things off, fad diets, exercise, personal trainers, no matter how much weight we try to lose, are we ever really content with our size?
Women are always thinking about their bodies. I mean, it's a 24-hour job. I'd want smaller legs. I'm like 80% content with my size. I want to lose like 5 to 10 pounds.
I look at pictures of Victoria's Secret models and I'm like, oh, I'm so fat, and I'm like 107 pounds. You know what I mean? I'm not. It's all about Photoshop and airbrush models.
We have Kashana and Liz here who say they represent these roles and are proud of these roles.
Yes, I am who I am. I love me. I look good. I don't have any problems being who I am. I have great friends. I date a lot, and I get what I want.
And you love that. And you know what? It's bubbling out of you. We are feeling it. And so if you have any question about where beauty lies, it is inside and bubbles right out.
Yes, and it shows on the outside.
That's right.
So true.
The bigger question is, are all of us women ever fully content? Because I feel like I'm happy, I'm comfortable in my own skin, but do I wish I was taller? Yeah. Do I wish...
Is that why you wear those shoes?
Yes. Do I wish that I didn't have dimples on the back of my ass? Yes. It doesn't make me love myself less, but I sure would be stoked if I was 5'7" tomorrow and my butt was perfect. It wouldn't suck.
And Liz, you're representing a particular role. Are you content with your size?
Not at all. I was a beauty queen at a very young age in the UK, and I was cocktailing on loads of pills. So when I was at my skinniest, I wasn't healthy by any means. I mean, I was cocktailing slimming tablets, diuretics, ephedrine, and I was serious. You know, I was unwell through it. So being skinny is not healthy.
Sean, do you laugh at women who try so desperately to measure up to this Hollywood standard and who are uncomfortable in their own skin?
I definitely do, because it takes a lot, like Liz says, to get to that size. You know, I think a lot of women do that because they do feel depression. They're not happy, and I'm always happy because food makes me happy. So, you know,
I think it makes most of us happier.
Well, as physicians, we worry about healthy.
Right.
You know, and that's really the key. You can be skinny and not healthy, and you can be, you know, larger and healthier. So sometimes we worry about that because there's different parameters for healthy.
And that's a liberating message, because nearly 45 million Americans, they do go on a diet each and every year. But is skinny really healthier?
A new study suggests not everyone who's obese needs to lose weight. Doctors say it's possible to carry a few extra pounds and still be healthy. Obesity brings an increased risk of many for health complications. Now, the new study shows that people who are obese but do not have such complications might live a normal life just like those with normal weight.
So what is liberating about this is I do find people all the time saying, oh my gosh, I can't get rid of those last 10, 15 stubborn pounds. I want to clarify this study that happened at the University of Toronto. It found that overweight people who still ate healthy and were active had the same longevity as their quote-unquote ideal weight counterparts. And so it really is liberating, because it gets back to a lifestyle. Living a healthy lifestyle, no matter your weight, proves to be beneficial, and that's borne out in this study. And I think hopefully both men and women will look at that and say, look, I'm gonna eat healthy, I'm gonna be active, and that is going to get me to my ideal weight. It may not be that cover model look, but I'm good enough with that.
And as we're learning, some of the cover models are doing unhealthy things to remain thin.
And the photos are all retouched anyway. So.
You know,
That's another topic, though.
Yeah.
But while we're on this topic, we wanted to answer this email we received from Caroline in St. Louis, and she writes, I'm a fairly thin and healthy woman who used to be overweight, but I'm still worried about my size. Which is of greater concern to my health, being too fat or too skinny?
I think Dr. Lisa said it best. It really has to do with how you're going about achieving your being skinny or being thin. If you're eating right and you're working out and you're not taking diet pills, or you're not going on the master cleanse and starving your body, it's a frame of mind.
Yeah, it's a frame of mind, but there are health risks to the two extremes.
Right.
Let's go talk about health risks, Dr. Lisa, because I think, to be fair, it does go beyond just physical appearance, and what we want to talk about is the actual health threat if you are too overweight versus too quote-unquote skinny. So we have these models up here, and let's just take this woman who has a tendency to be overweight or obese. We're looking right now at her liver. What does that have to do with being overweight? Well, how you process sugar in your bloodstream. This is insulin, that's sugar. Normally it carries it into the cell, no problem. You have a regular level of sugar in your bloodstream throughout the day. However, the more and more obese you get, your body becomes less and less responsive to the insulin, and that sugar just hangs out in your bloodstream all day long, leading to things like kidney failure, maybe worsening weight, and over time it can lead to things that you may not think about. Arthritis in all of these joints, even low back pain. People will come in with knee pain that's due to arthritis just from over time, all that extra weight wearing away that cartilage. You can only imagine that a lifetime of being obese is going to cause those issues in your heart. This is what I worry about. The #1 killer of both men and women in this country, heart disease. Being obese does put a strain on your heart, may lead to high blood pressure. And this is what we call that deadly heart attack. As those fatty plaques build up in your arteries in your heart, they can rupture, causing a blood clot, which can lead to a fatal heart attack. That's no laughing matter.
Not at all. And this lady here, who you can see is extremely thin. We're going to see what had the effects on her health. Basically, her joints. She doesn't have the muscle mass on her joints, but also she has low estrogen. We don't realize that fat, a certain amount of fat in our body produces estrogen, keeps our joints and our bones nice and pliable, and she's also having back pain as well and neck pain. So this can happen in both extremes. Now, when we talk about fertility, you know, if you're extremely thin, again, because fat produces hormones or estrogen, and that can affect our period, that can affect our fertility, can cause anovulation, which can make you become infertile. Now we know the extremes of it with anorexia. The electrolyte imbalance can have problems on the heart and nerve conduction, so the heart can start to beat slower, and as some of you may have known, anorexia can actually lead to death.
So, message here is too much weight, not good. Too little weight, not good. There is this happy medium that we should all be seeking. It's not perfection, it's just healthy.
Okay, now before we think that being a little overweight or a little underweight doesn't have social consequences, listen to this. The new study from Cosmo claims that 50% of men would dump their girlfriend if she got fat. So we took the streets to see how true this really is.
I would most likely break up with my girlfriend if she became overweight because of lifestyle incompatibility, not because she was getting fat.
I've definitely left women because they've gained weight.
No, I wouldn't dump my girlfriend.
You would not leave her, no. Wouldn't. Nope.
I try to help her work out. I try to keep it in check.
So what do you think seeing that?
Yeah. All the guys who said they would dump their girls were unattractive, so, you know.
Can I just say, we shouldn't be dating guys that are that shallow. I mean, what girl should do
Dump
that?
them first.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think what was not mentioned in that tape is that partners do tend to either lose weight or gain weight together. And I do think sometimes men separate it, and they don't realize they're putting weight on, but they can be very judgmental of their partner, and that's just flat out wrong.
It's kind of a double standard for guys, because guys